17 has got a couple of items. So 17 is about disciplinary interviews, grievances, and whatnot. So a couple of improved benefits. So when the company requests a pilot to come to an interview, so this is an investigatory interview, no charges have been made yet. These are complaints that, in theory, most domiciles, chief pilot offices were handling correctly, but there are a couple in particular that were not. So we, yeah, not the only one, but we were forced to get some contractual language to protect us all here, and that's what this is all about. So a pilot and the representative will be given a private space to review what the information that the company is going to use to conduct the interview. And then also they'll be provided the time necessary to review those documents. And what's envisioned here is that, you might be called to come in, you come in with your rep, and then you're given a 500-page stack of papers to look at and said, we want to talk to you in half an hour. That's not appropriate, right? So that's what the language isn't specific, because it's almost impossible to write something for every situation. But this is something we relied on our legal staff heavily to help us draft. And we believe, those words again, will help us with that. There's more. So if you've been held out of service, which means you've been taken out of schedule, which is happening less and less, we understand, because the company's afraid of taking pilots out of schedule these days. They're paying you. That's what that means. So if you have not been taken out of schedule and you're brought in for an in-person meeting, you'll be paid 3 hours of ad pay. You may, however, consent to a video conference. In that case, suspension or termination cannot be in play. And the company needs to tell you, I think we'll say that later on here, the company needs to tell you that. It might come up during the investigation. The company is required to cease the procedure at that point and let you know that, hey, whatever we found out from this might result in termination or suspension. So let's set up an in-person meeting. The pilot also has the right, after reviewing the information they're required to be provided, to say, hey, you know what? I don't like where, I'll tell your rep this, not the company. I don't like where this might go. Let's go meet in person. Some pilots are not comfortable. Maybe the rep's not comfortable with a teleconference type situation, and you want to do it in person. If you elect to continue with the video conference and you're not already out of service, in other words, you're not already being covered, then you would get an hour of bad pay for that. If the company wants you to be a witness, they will pay you as per company business, which right now for a reserve would be 5 hours for the reserve day dropped, and for on a day off, 4 hours and 30 minutes of company business for either line holder or a reserve. And yeah, that's I'm trying to think. Do you remember what this is for being called in as a witness? You could be called in to somebody's suing the company and you're on that flight and you're coming in to testify or come into a deposition or something like that. The company asks you to come in. Those are the types of scenarios envisioned by this provision.